Hey guys, this is Dinosaur, and I just went to see the new Godzilla movie, and I really love it. I mean, it's not a bad movie in my opinion because of the action is incredible. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it as soon as you can because it's amazing in my opinion. So it gave me a lot of inspiration to do another Godzilla drawing. So that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys today. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to draw the head of Godzilla. So let's, and by the way, this is a drawing I did. This is a Chickenosaurus. Basically it's my version, my design on what a Chickenosaurus would look like. So if you haven't seen it and you are interested, go to my channel and make sure you watch it. And also, by the way, before we're gonna start off this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. Alright. So what we are gonna start with is well, let's start with a circle. So draw a circle like this. Don't make it too big on the paper because this is just a part of his head. It's not his head, the completed size of his head, because we're also gonna include a part of his neck. So now what we want to do is we want to draw a line like this. This is going to be the top of his head, and he is at an angle. He's kind of looking down a little bit, so it's kind of at an angle. Then we're gonna draw a shape like this over there, and now we want to have the basic length and shape of his jaw. So this will be the shape of his jaw, and then his lower jaw will be going like this. So it's kind of a rectangular shape, I guess. And we have an eyebrow right here. It goes like this. Kind of goes on and on until the rest of his neck. But we're first gonna focus on the shape of his neck, which will be shaped like something like this. And then the lower, his throat area, is gonna be something like this. And I'm just adjusting it to make the shape look right, the way that I want it to look. And so yeah, let's see. Alright, so I do need to make sure that this is the right shape and the right length and everything. And I'm talking about his snout right now. So when you have this shape, what you have to do is go down a little bit and make sure his upper jaw is a little bit bigger than his lower jaw. Just go back about this far, I guess. Yeah, about this far. And over here, it curves down a little bit, going like this. And I was, by the way, I was thinking about doing the more traditional style for this video. So I'll just have 2 or more parts So now we have the jawline over here, going back like this, but we also have his throat, which is connected to that area underneath his jaw. We can make it look a little bit thicker, like something like this. And now we drew his eyebrow over here, but now what we need to do is just below his eyebrow make a pocket like this, just a little area, or just make it a triangular shape like that, and then make this curved line go like this. And his eye would be about just a little bit lower than the eyebrow. And he has a very, very small eye. Let's see. Alright, so this is the basics of the shape and everything. The only thing we need to put in is his nose, which is about over here. And we can always adjust his eye a little bit to make it stand out just a little bit more. Right, so now I'm gonna switch to a darker pencil, or you could just well, I'm not gonna use a darker pencil. Actually, I'm gonna use a pencil with a finer point, so that the graphite gets a little bit darker. And also you could just switch to a darker pencil, or just press down a little harder. If you went ahead and made sure that the lines that you put down are very light at first, you can always go back and make it a little bit darker. Alright, so now for his eye, we're gonna start putting in a little more detail. So we're gonna start putting in a lot of wrinkles in the area of his eye and darken a lot of it. So this is gonna be completely darkened. This goes on a little bit further down like this. Then this area in front of his eye is completely darkened, and we see a lot of wrinkles over here. And these wrinkles just kind of go on like so. Alright. So I'm gonna adjust this a little bit better so that it looks a little bit more accurate. So now I'm gonna go over the sketch that we made earlier and just following the lines, but pay attention to the fact that I'm not going over the lines that are over here, because there are going to be teeth showing. We do need to pay attention to those. It's still very rough, it's not completed yet. So then this goes back about the same length as this area, and then what we are gonna start seeing is some bumps like this, and then there's a little bit of space between it, and then another one. This one is a little bit bigger, and then a little bit space between it again, and then another one just like this. And again, just keep on doing it and make them a little bit bigger as you go along. And it doesn't matter how many of those you put in. If you want to have it really accurate, try to follow what I'm doing right now. But you could also just keep with your own stay with your own style and try and create something that looks good in your eyes. So I'm just gradually making them bigger, and I'm gonna stop right here because now I want to make a couple of lines. Those are just some lines that I have to follow. So there's a line going back like this and it stops over here. Then there would be a line, well actually this is supposed to be a little bit more like this. Let's see. Yeah, so we have this line goes like this, and then it goes like this, following the shape of his skull. And then from here on we have a line that goes like this. And this one just goes on till the length of his neck. And then over here we have something that's appearing over here, also a line. And these are just lines that I'm gonna try and follow as good as I can, because on each of those lines we have a little bump. So this one goes like this, and then over here we also have a couple of them. Just like this, and they get bigger and bigger. And there are a couple of lines between them that don't have a spike, but over here they stay with the same pattern. So here, for example, they have a couple of those armored things without any spikes on it, but we do want to have a lot more detail going on over here, of course. So I'm gonna just draw a couple of lines like so. Still just putting them in very roughly. And at this point we just put on a couple of big ones, and they get bigger and bigger. They don't have to be even or anything. just try to follow what I'm doing. I made a little bit of a mistake because of course they need to be very large, but you can't just go from very tiny to extremely big all of a sudden. So, oh, I picked the wrong pencil. So I need to make them gradually bigger without making it look like an enormous difference just all of a sudden. Something more like this. Alright. That looks a little bit better in my opinion. So now we do need to make sure that there is a spike over here as well. And over here as well. So now we just have to kind of make these, oh, I made a mistake. Make these lines fade into his body and everything without making it too artificial. We just have to make it look natural. So over here, about over here, we have an area where there are gonna be some gills showing. Yeah, it would be about over there. But first I wanna adjust this just a little bit so that we have the right shapes and the right kind of look to it that we want it to have. So we have a couple of rimples over here, wrinkles, everything. And we do need to include it into our drawing to make it look more accurate. And we could of course also just include the teeth already, so we can see about, let's see, 3 teeth that are from his upper jaw and 1 from his lower. So there's going to be 1 teeth right here, then there's going to be a smaller one. It's going to be visible right here, and then we have 2 more, 1 over here and 1 over there. And now we just have to make it look natural again. There are a couple of lines over here as well. And let's see, we're at 19 minutes, so that's pretty okay. So we can make this area a lot darker, by the way. And later on we will add a lot more shading to it. So now there are a couple of gills that we can see. They look something like this. And then over here we just have a lot of wrinkles and skin texture. And then we have the final line over here. We have a couple more. We have one more and then the final line, and this line goes all the way down till over here. And then we simply have well, we have the plates kind of go all the way down to his throat area. Alright, so this is gonna be the basics. This is gonna be our base, and we are gonna add a lot of shadow to it and a lot more detail, but I think that we're gonna do that in the next part. Yeah, we're probably gonna do that in the next part. First we're gonna connect those spiky things to each other. And over here they are shaped more like this. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna go over everything, and then we have our basic drawing done and ready for shading. So yeah, I'll just go over everything and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and yeah, this is what it looks like right now. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna look amazing when I edit all the shading and the small little details. But for just this video, this would be fine. And of course, it could turn out to be to become a disaster, and the second part will not come out, but that's not something that usually happens to me. So yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the video and the drawing in general, and also tell me what you think about the new movie, if you've seen it or if you are going to see it. Just let me know in the comments what you think about everything. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss a single video. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.